So should we go to a trade that's not as good as this one for a certain team, but for another team it's fantastic?
I got you. Jaylen Brown has been traded officially to the Boston Celtics arch rival, the Philadelphia 76ers. Let me break it down for you, Zach, and then I'll let you cook. All right. I'll set it up for you. So before I start, I will say I was so shocked. I was literally at work. I was so busy, and then I look at my phone. I see Zach text me. I see dots on my screen. I'm like, why did he send me dots? And I was like, oh wait, did a trade go down? I look at my notifications, and I see Jaylen Brown got traded, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought he wasn't getting traded. At least that's how it looked because even the days coming up to it, me and Zach have been talking about it, and the league wasn't valuing Jaylen Brown that high. And we had the LaMelo trade, we had the Kawhi trade. Um, Once the Kawhi trade happened, I literally texted Zach. I was like, "There is no way Jaylen Brown's getting traded because it has been reported, and even Shams has talked about it, that his value is like super low right now. Like no one's trying to give." Boston anything that they're really asking for at this point. So when you hear talks that his value is so much lower, and the reason it's so much lower is because every team in the NBA knows that Boston screwed themselves for not trading for Giannis, so now they're trying to get rid of him. So that's kind of why his value tanked significantly. Um, so knowing that, the Boston Celtics agreed to trade Jaylen Brown to the Sixers for Paul George, two first round picks. Those two first round picks, one is unprotected, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, one's
um,
unprotected and the other one's kind of complicated. It's like, yeah,
but it's
certain
protected, or it's a pick
it
swap.
is.
It's in that
Yeah,
flux.
it's a little interesting the language with it.
But I heard Boston is
But
probably
yeah.
not going to get it though. It's pretty much the. It's pretty much what I'm hearing. The way that it looks.
Uh Possibly. I'll have to
Yeah,
look at the language. It was kind of confusing when I read it, but
I hear you. Cool.
yeah, either way.
Paul George, one unprotected. The other one's either protected or a pick swap, and then two second round picks. Originally, Boston was asking for at least two unprotected picks, but they weren't even able to get that. As time gone on, Boston originally asked the Sixers for five first round picks, VJ Edgecombe, and Paul George in exchange for Jaylen Brown. That deal, for some reason, did not go through, though, and they still traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George, um, which I don't know why we sold high and then took the lower bargain after. I don't know. That's really weird talks. But anyways, um, moving on from that, Jaylen Brown then came out, talked about. I know he went on stream recently. He also came out with his farewell speech. I did want to go ahead and talk about his farewell speech real quick, and then I'll let you talk, Zach. But I found it very interesting. Um, Jaylen Brown said, "First and foremost, thank you to the Most High. Even in the midst of adversity, I'm here with gratitude. I'm still processing how this all went down. I'm excited and disappointed at the same time. I earned my respect from the city. I never asked for shortcuts or special treatment. I simply showed up every day, put my head down, and accepted every challenge. The relationships I built here, the battles we fought together, the championship we brought to the city, and the connection I shared with the fans, I will carry on with me. Saying goodbye isn't easy when you've invested your heart into something. I'm big on respect, and actions speak louder than words. To the people of Boston, thank you. To the community I built here, I love you. And the shift ats, we are locked in for life. As one chapter closes and another begins, I'm excited for what's ahead and grateful for the opportunity to join Philadelphia. Every city has its own identity, its own passion, and its own expectation. I respect that, and I'm looking forward to earning that respect the only way I know how to, through the work. And yeah, So that's all Jaylen Brown had to say. That's pretty much keeping everybody updated on what the whole aspect of the trade was. Um, I hope I hit every point that I could. But Zach, if I missed anything, the floor is yours, man.
Well, I want to start out by saying shout out to Brad Stevens because I believe that he sees this trade as his own version of the Nets trade that Danny Ainge made years ago. Except this time, the Celtics are the Nets in this scenario. Brad Stevens trades Jaylen Brown for a small Oreo shake, a pack of silly bands, and a Taco Bell gift card. Celtics got Paul George, the 2 first rounds and the 2 seconds. Dude, that is insane. And Sham said that the Celtics were aggressively in talks with 8 to 10 teams. How was this the best package? You trade them to the team that beat them in the first round after being up 3-1. You trade them to your rivals, like you said earlier. You give them to the rival 76ers, who now have a very good chance to win the East and make the finals. They have a core of Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, Dean Wade, and Joel Embiid. Dude, Brad Stevens, he was a great Celtics head coach for many years, and he was an even better GM because he would make W trades, W transactions. He created that amazing Celtics championship roster, and all of it was nullified by this trade. Brad Stevens, you are on the hot seat, my friend. Jaylen Brown never requested a trade, but he panicked.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention
He
that. I'm
would
sorry.
he wouldn't give up Baylor Shireman, and he wouldn't give up Hugh Gonzalez for Giannis, and so they didn't do the deal. He was firm with the Timberwolves that he wanted to get Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, and those picks that Charlotte got. Timberwolves declined, went with the LaMelo route. They
Oh, and real
demanded,
quick, literally the Hornets called them the next day and offered the same package. They offered Nas Reed and the picks, and then Boston went cold on the trade. But go on.
yeah, ridiculous. It's so
I'm
stupid.
sorry. I
So
had to
stupid.
include that just in case people forgot. Like there was literally talks. The reason the Hornets did that trade was to see if Boston would budge, and then I guess just Boston just I guess Brad just I don't know, dude. Continue. I don't know.
Yeah. So then the reports came out that Brad Stevens demanded at least 4 first round picks for Jaylen Brown. There were no takers. He then was talking with the 76ers. He asked for VJ Edgecombe in the deal. Obviously, they said no. He panicked again, and rather than sit JB down, make amends, and run it back with him. And keep in mind, before this trade happened, during the day, the Celtics go out, they sign Mitchell Robinson. They sign Mike Conley, to a lesser extent, just a bench guy. But they
It
they
was a good day
get
if you're a Boston fan.
it was a great
Like
day. You're
majority of the
thinking,
day.
okay, Jaylen Brown, he's probably coming back to the Celtics. There's no takers. No one's going to give him proper value, so you keep him, right? It's pretty simple. But no, he trades for Paul George and a small fry. And so Paul George, he's coming to the Celtics. It's like, what timeline is the Celtics on now? You save a couple $1,000,000 this year and next year, and then the year after you clear the books. But what is getting Paul George really accomplish? Like, what timeline are we on, dude? He's 36 years old, and he has a player option in his contract.
It's one
Next
of the
year, he
worst
has a
contracts
player
in the NBA.
option. And so people come out and we dog, me and Josh, we talked about this. We dogged Nico Harrison for what he did, and rightfully so. Terrible trade that he did, trading Luka Doncic away. The only difference is with Nico Harrison, you could at least say that he had a plan. Even though it was a bad plan, he said, okay, what we saw in the finals was obviously we just could not defend. Defense wins championships. We're not going to win that with Luka, was his reasoning. Let's go out. Let's get Anthony Davis. Let's just make a giant team, do this around Kyrie, and just put a bunch of defenders on this team. Nico had a plan at least. Even though it was the wrong plan. Brad Stevens has no plan. This never needed to happen. What direction are you going in? Are you hoping that somehow the Nuggets have a bad year and Jokic wants out? Are you hoping that the LaMelo experience doesn't work out and Ant wants out? That's terrible wishful thinking that something like that can happen. There's no plan to this. You just traded him to trade him. And Brad, he won Executive of the Year before. What happened? Why would he panic like this? And so you have all this happening. You know, Josh, you already mentioned, you know, he went on stream the night that we're recording this, and his opening line was Boston packed me up, you know, and we've seen reports come out after this trade, like Colin Coward said he had anonymous sources come up to him and say, oh, Jaylen Brown is a disease because he's too smart for his own good,
Yeah, sure did.
and all these things, which was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
And you know, he even called him out. Jaylen Brown called Colin Coward out,
100%.
and which he rightfully should, because he was like, "You got to stop with the anonymous sources." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I could rebuttal the things you're saying, but you just say you have anonymous sources, but what are your sources? Where are they?
Who are these two sources, bro?
Who are the sources?" And so, you know, Jaylen obviously he showed his character even in the stream. He was very level-headed. He took the high road when he was talking. He mentioned he was being authentic. He mentioned he wasn't thrilled with the amount of respect he was shown in the process, which is completely fair. He wasn't thrilled with the way that Brad facilitated some of the conversations. And he kept saying, and I'm curious if we'll ever have an answer to this, but he said there was more to it, but he didn't understand and he wasn't thrilled that maybe Brad or the front office wasn't explaining what the more to it was. So I'm not sure if they didn't communicate the best with Jaylen Brown, but that's what it made it sound like. But man, this is a tough time to be a Celtics fan.
And what's crazy is Jaylen Brown seemed cool with reconciling it. I think he even mentioned that he thought everything was cool.
Yeah, he's a chill guy, man. He's a chill guy. There was no need to do this trade. And so as a Celtics fan, man, it's just a really bad time. And so the only logical explanation for this, and this isn't even an explanation, this is just trying to throw a dart at the wall and seeing what happens. But, you know, JB was obviously sixth in MVP voting last year. And it's like you don't think his agent and his people would be complaining if the Celtics didn't offer him the extension come July 26th. So I think that plays a big part in why he was traded. It's to get out of the JB at 5 years and $323 million scenario. I don't think they wanted to extend him those next 2 years. Regardless, stupid, ridiculous. And wow, you just instantly made your rival the team to beat in the East.
I mean, in certain
That's my opinion.
scenarios, that makes sense, but not in this scenario because did we forget who his running mate is? Jaylen Brown. Zach,
Mm-hmm.
how old is Jason Tatum?
Off the top of my head, is he 28?
He's 28. In the prime of his career, and in the prime of his career, now he's coming off an injury, but at the end of the day, he's still 28 years old. I don't care if he's coming
Yep.
off of an injury at this point. I mean, at this point in time, ACLs are very fixable. So I'm not really worried about him coming back and not
Yeah, he came back
being up to
last year and
par.
played,
Yeah.
pretty fine
Not up to where he was before, but he
for
gave
sure.
you like probably like I would say at least 80% of what he was, which was
Hmm.
still like better
For
than a
less
lot of
than
other
like
players.
9 months,
He was still like the second best player on the
you
team
can't
with
beat
that
that.
level. Yeah, exactly. So we are we're getting rid of Jaylen Brown in the midst of Tatum's prime. You got it. You got
Yeah.
it, Brad. I hear you. Understood. We're
You
gonna
had
go
the
get
team right there,
36-year-old
hours before
Paul
the trade.
George to pair with prime Tatum. I hear you.
Hours before the trade, you had a team that had a shot to win the East with Mitchell Robinson coming, and you blew it. You absolutely blew it. And I hope Brad Stevens comes on a press conference soon because we need answers
He should have came
badly.
out the next day. Why is he not coming out today? He should
Where
have came
are
out
you,
today.
Brad?
Yeah, like
Where are you, Brad?
Nico
Show your
was
face.
Nico was there next day. Like he came out in a press conference the next day. We heard from the Mavs instantly. Why am I
He
not
has a
hearing from
lot of
Boston the
explaining to
next
do.
day?
He has a lot of explaining to do. And I'm not going to be one of those guys that I said earlier, Brad, you're on the hot seat. I'm not a fire Brad Stevens yet. I'm not at that point. He built up some goodwill, but he's down to his last strike. If this doesn't work, it's over. So, Brad, you better pull a rabbit out of your hat because we have some things to talk about.
Well, the rabbit out of the hat is what I saw is a report. I mean, reports just keep coming out, but there was a report today that people in the Celtics organization are banking on Payne Pritchard making a
Oh,
Jalen Brunson type leap this next season.
yeah, I hope so too. So, so what? Okay. I hope Chris Sinak Jr., our rookie, is better than Jokic next year. Yeah,
Which I gotta say,
I do.
if you're believing all these players you have are gonna make these leaps, then why would you still trade Jalen Brown? The whole goal is to win a championship, so why would you not run it with the current squad you have if you're that high on Peyton Pritchard and Hugo Gonzalez?
You're being loyal to the wrong players, is the issue. You have seemingly insane loyalty to guys like Baylor Shireman, Hugo Gonzalez, Peyton Pritchard, which are all guys I love, but you don't have that same level of respect for Jaylen Brown, who's been with your team for a decade, who's been an all NBA player, multi time All Star, so many accolades, finals MVP, and you just trade him for nothing. It's still mind blowing to this day. It's just a really dark time for the Celtics. We'll still be a good team. Like, we're going to be worse without Jaylen Brown. That's for sure.
You're not gonna be in championship combos though.
And no, we're going to be,
You're out
we'll
now.
probably make
You
the
were.
playoffs.
You're out though. There's
We'll
no
probably make the
contention now.
playoffs,
Yeah.
but that's about where we stop.
First round
And so,
exit, maybe second at best.
yeah. So, Paul George, like, throw everything out. He's a good player. He's obviously not JB. He's a good player. He's probably the only thing I would say that he's better at than JB is maybe the three ball, and that's about it. I mean,
Yeah. No, that's
I
not
don't
much
know.
either.
He's a fine defender, I guess, at this point, but
Jalen Brown's better.
you never know what you're gonna get. Bring your drugs to Boston, hide it better because we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it.
This guy averaged 17 points per game and is getting paid number one, number two option money. This man's getting paid more than Jalen Brown and doesn't even average 20 points per game. He averaged
Oh,
17 last season, guys. Don't forget about that.
lovely.
He could even be the
That's
second
that's
option
awesome.
on his team, on his last team. He could even compete with Tyrese Maxey. So
Yeah, so in a stint with Philly, 41 games played, year 1, 37 games played, year 2.
mhm.
You're getting Paul George part-time.
Yep.
You're getting part-time Paul George. So good job, Brad Stevens.
Part-time P baby.
Part-time P. What a sad day. But
I do have a
that's all
question.
I have.
I do have a
Yes.
question for you, Zach.
Let's hear it.
We've talked about it for years, and I need to ask one more time before we move on. As I've always said to you, if I'm a player, I don't know why I would go to Boston because Boston just is never loyal. They did it to Isaiah Thomas. They did it to Kyrie.
Which
Now,
was
to
the
be
right
fair,
move.
they all had their own
No.
situations. Yeah, yes,
No. Stop.
yes.
Kyrie, you're
That
going to
situ
say Celtics weren't loyal to Kyrie?
Well, they never offered him the contract, so
Man said he was going to resign, then dipped.
yeah, he said he would resign as long
He
as
wasn't coming
Boston would
back
have
to the
him back.
Celtics.
Boston never offered him the deal.
No.
Yeah, they never were going to extend him. They never offered him the contract.
Dude, I don't think he was ever coming back.
All right. But now we
No.
have Jaylen Brown. If you're a player in the NBA, after seeing over time, whichever, each player has had their different situation. I totally get it. But at the end of the day, I'm a player, and even if I go to the point where I help you win a championship, you're still going to get rid of me. So, as a player, should I feel comfortable going to Boston?
Well, here's what I'll say. With the Celtics, I think they're very black and white more than most teams. You either help us win a championship or you don't. That was the case with Isaiah Thomas. You help us win or you don't. He doesn't help you win a championship. Now, I believe the Celtics also thought that, okay, once this 2024 team is up, you can't win anymore with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown making the salaries they do.
Well, that got
That
reported
can't win
recently
again.
that they don't believe they can win together anymore, which is weird, but okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate that logic either because I'm not sure if I necessarily agree that they both could unless you go dip back into the second apron. But are you just going to have to do that and then reset every couple years? Like, I don't know.
Well, you guys weren't even going to be in the second apron with this type of team, and I was interested to see what this team could do.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I mean, they were a second
But
seed without Tatum, so that's why I'm kind of like I'm interested to see with Tatum fully back, and then this team, I feel like gained better bench pieces. I'm actually kind of interested to see what they can do, but now I'll
yeah,
never know.
yeah. So, I mean, I think Boston's more black and white. And so I respect it in certain aspects that they just, whatever it takes to win a championship. I mean, they have 18 for a reason. And I think that's an important factor is not to be too attached to your players. But I agree. Like, the whole Jaylen Brown situation is messed up. I'll give you that 100%. I didn't even have a problem with the Isaiah Thomas stuff. I still to this day will stand on it that that was the right move. But the
That's
Jaylen
fine.
Brown situation, no,
But I'm
that was
saying,
not good.
like, from a loyalty standpoint, like, if I join the Celtics, I should never assume that I'm ever going to have loyalty from them.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you
Okay.
do,
That's what I'm
you
saying.
know?
Yeah.
But, like, what team is giving you more loyalty, to be honest?
Then
Like,
Boston.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
unless you're a small market team and
well, I mean, I was going to bring up the Trailblazers. They gave Dames a lot of loyalty until
Okay,
it was just finally done. I know they're a smaller market team. That was the first one that came to mind when you said that.
that's fair.
I mean, there's probably other teams
But it's
that
like,
I
what
could
other
go
choice do
through.
they have?
What's up?
Like, what other choice would they have though? Like
Boston?
Portland. No, Portland.
Oh,
Did they have
Portland?
a? Did they have another option to not just be loyal? Like they can keep Dame and say, we're being loyal to
I
you,
feel
but
like
what
no
are they
matter
without
what
Dame?
position a team is in, I feel like you don't have to.
I
I
mean,
feel
were the
like every
Bucks
team's
not loyal to
different.
Giannis?
No,
Like,
they were.
okay,
I think Giannis was the one who facilitated the trade more. Like through these past couple of years, like Giannis was annoying me, bro. Like you could tell Giannis the way everything was going, you could tell he was like more behind the scenes. Like he was definitely facilitating the trade more than the Bucks. Like he wanted to leave more than I think the Bucks wanted him to leave, in my opinion. Like
mhm.
because every press conference it was weird. He was like, I want to stay," but I mean, as long as the Bucks will have me, it's that type of talk, dude, where it's just like, yeah, man, I mean, as long as they want me back, like I'm cool to stay. But if they're gonna trade me, it's one of those things where I'm like, I mean, I'll be cool with, it's that's literally what he would do. Like
Yeah.
majority of his press conferences. It's just weird. But I mean, I would say the Lakers organization's more loyal to their players.
I guess so.
Maybe
I
not
really,
recently with AD. That was kind of awkward. But
yeah, but who's blaming the Lakers for doing that?
well, no. Yeah, I mean, well, that is a little bit of a different scenario where they did trade for the better player. This is a scenario where you didn't. You actually traded for someone that just doesn't make sense. And they
Yeah,
were on the better side of things where they actually did get the better player, you know? Um, I mean, the
I'm just
Sixers
saying,
have been
even in
more
years
loyal.
past.
They've kept Embiid the whole time. I would have gotten rid of Embiid a long time ago if I was them, but they've stuck
Well,
it
the
out with
problem
Embiid.
is they really can't do anything right now with him
I think
because
there's a lot of teams that would trade for Embiid though. Like,
I think if could happen, then that would have been done.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, me personally, I would have done it, but I mean, they've stayed loyal to them the whole time. Can't really say the Mavericks have been that
I would
loyal.
not. If I was any other team, I wouldn't trade for Embiid.
Yeah. I mean, I would
Like
also bring
I
up like the
think,
Spurs too. But I mean, Spurs would probably be more classified as smaller market, I guess, even though I feel like they're not really small market. But yeah, I don't know.
it's just the situations are different. I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
the
I get
Isaiah
it.
Thomas stuff
Well,
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
thing that people point to with that. But like, are you winning more with Isaiah Thomas or Kyrie Irving at
No,
that
I
point? And
hear
I
you.
know
No,
all
I'm
the
with
other
you.
stuff. Like Isaiah's awesome, and you know, like Isaiah has a great relationship with the Celtics now. He literally was the one who called the second round pick. Like he's basically works for the Celtics now.
Hmm.
So I don't think there's any hard feelings there.
Well, yeah, because those relationships can get repaired over time. I get it.
Yeah.
Like Jaylen Brown in the future, they'll probably repair the relationship because shoot, who knows? There might be new owners by then. He's
To be
probably not
honest,
going to
I
be
don't
friends
even
with
know
this
if he's
ownership.
yeah, I'm not even sure that he's completely upset with I don't know if there's
I
going to
think he's a
be
little
a lot
upset.
to
I mean, he said
repair
he's disappointed. I mean, like,
from his personality though. He doesn't seem like he holds crazy
oh
grudges.
yeah. I mean, I
Even
wouldn't
from
say
his
he would hold.
stream, he's
Yeah,
very chill.
I think it's one of those situations where in the future he would definitely have to be like, yeah, like Brad and this ownership group, if it's still the same ownership group, like y'all are gonna have to talk to me face to face in a room and
Yeah.
pretty much like say you're sorry to me because it's like it was messed up.
Which I could see that conversation happening. They're both very level-headed people talking about Jaylen and Brad. But
As long as
it's
they have a
funny
good
because I
reason.
even joked to you. It might have been to you or to someone else, but you know, I could definitely foresee the 76ers and the Celtics playing in the playoffs, 76ers being the 1 seed, Celtics squeaking in as the 8 seed, and Jaylen Brown just like getting his inner Jimmy Butler out when Jimmy was like, Tobias
Yeah.
Harris over me, and then just like Jaylen throwing down one of his monster dunks and just yelling at the Boston crowd, Paul George over me. I can see it, and I'm not even gonna hate. I'm gonna be like, yeah, we deserve that.
When
So,
Anthony Simons hits a 3.
oh man,
Because
I can't
Anthony
believe they
Simons
have
just
him
got
too.
signed.
They
Baker
they
too.
did, man. They're doing it. They're doing their thing. So
Yep.
the East is gonna be fun. The top of the East, oh, I'm excited. It's gonna be a great watch.
The East has a lot more interesting teams this year. There's
They
definitely a lot
do.
more competition, and it's all because the Knicks won. So this is what
It's
happens.
becoming, yeah, it's becoming more you don't know, like the West, like who the 6th seed could be a very good team. The 7th seed could be a very good team. So it's exciting times.
Hmm. Yeah, more stacked rosters. A lot of the same players are in the East, like Giannis and Jaylen Brown, um, but they went to more stacked rosters now. Like at least the teams that they're on, they're more stacked, so they're going to go
Yeah.
up and be more championship contenders. Plus, man, Kawhi's not in the West anymore. He's back in the East, so that's another
Hey.
top heavy roster. So, I mean, the Heat are not as top heavy. They're going to need some time to build that roster back up again. But, um,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, the 76ers and the Raptors, they were already in the playoffs, but now you just add two more players on each of those teams that make them possibly, well, the Sixers are definitely championship contenders without a doubt. The Raptors might be too. We'll have to see how that pans out, but yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it is crazy.
Yeah. Then you got, of course, the Knicks,
They're still
who
around. They
are
still have the
there.
same team.
They're
They
still
re-signed all
around.
their it's going to be the exact same team. They're
Yeah.
running it
Except
back.
my boy Mitchell Robinson. Woo.
Yeah, which I saw today. He said he actually wanted to re-sign with the Knicks, but
They didn't want
sounds
to
like
go in
they
the second apron.
yeah, sounds like he kind of got ghosted.
Yeah.
Which
So he's like,
is
fine, I'll
fair.
sign with Boston. They could just sign like Andre Drummond or someone like that. And
Oh
he'll probably do
man,
fine.
Andre Drummond. But
I
dude,
don't
Andre
know, someone
Drummond
like that.
be nice, dude. Him on the Knicks actually would be pretty decent.
And he could shoot the three.
He'll
And
play
he's a big
games.
body.
He'll actually
Hmm.
play games. He won't be hurt.
True.